Isn't it amazing that so many things, when you think about it, so many things they just communication is absolutely central to. You can have all kinds of skills, all kinds of tricks and analyses, and so much of it is communication. Future, you've got a year in drinking from a fire hose. You said. Uh, Now that this institute is part of Viterbo, what's next? How do you envision it's? I mean, you've referred to this a bit, but how do you envision the role in shaping conversation around higher education effectiveness, not just for Viterbo, but for the sector as a whole, which is right now internationally, I believe, certainly in Canada, I think in the States, is going through some very choppy waters.
There are many headwinds to higher education, and most institutions are not immune to those headwinds. It does not look as though in the foreseeable future that those headwinds will abate either, right? So they're going to continue, and the sector as a whole needs to adapt accordingly and start thinking about things like, okay, well, what's the appropriate mix of academic programs that we want to offer, and what are alternative sources of revenue, etc. As far as the Institute is concerned, one of our overarching objectives is, as Frank mentioned, is margin for mission. And the way that we approach this is thinking about how many students can be positively affected by our work, right? So, our long-term goal of getting to the point where with regularity we can sustain about 10 students worth of scholarship for the institution. But beyond that, developing more of a thought leadership position within the sector, particularly for small to medium private not-for-profit institutions that would benefit most from our expertise on, these really important matters around compensation, fair faculty compensation and staff structures, et cetera, some of the nitty-gritty details, but also things like margin for mission and academic program margins, and how do you build capacity for a grant funded program, things of that